Mikel Merino joins Arsenal finally. Here we go, confirmed from Fabrizio Romano. 32 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons, 4-year deal. It seems like this transfer saga has been going on for quite a bit of time. From the very beginning, it looked like he wanted to come to Arsenal. It was just negotiating with Real Sociedad. But we finally got him. Mikel Arteta and his philosophy believes that we should have 2 players in every single position in order to compete for the position, but also for squad depth. And just because we're playing European Football Champions League and trying to win a Premier League title at the same time. I think that's a very good way to look at things. I think if we're going to compete with teams like Manchester City, we have to do it by competing with them on the bench as well, because that's one of their strongest aspects of that team, and the reason why they can be so consistent over long periods of time. So I think we're finally getting there with our squad depth. I think Mikel Merino is a really good fit for Arsenal. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I don't think that Mikel Arteta has brought him in as a starter. And I know a lot of fans are just the amount of things that they said about Mikel Arteta wanting Merino makes it seem like he wants to bring him in, put him straight into the squad. Same thing that happened with Calafiori. I don't think Mikel Arteta is going to just drop him in there, because I think there's some things that we need to figure out in the midfield before we do so. So Mikel Merino is not a 6. He's an 8 for Real Sociedad for Spain. There's a lot of things that he does defensively really well, and there's a lot of things he does in the attack that I think his true position is, if there would be kind of a position between the 6 and an 8. Somebody who's a box-to-box but also can defend. I think he does those jobs really, really well, but I don't think that Arteta sees him as a 6. And I think Thomas Partey has been playing really well. The last game that we just played, I thought was one of his best matches. However, he's always been very inconsistent when we play against some of the top teams, and he's very injury prone. Thomas Partey is not going to be fully fit and healthy for the entire season. Jorginho, similar boat. Jorginho is inconsistent. There's times where he loses the ball in areas where puts us in a really tough spot, especially against really good teams. They're going to punish us for it. He's got some really good performances, but then he also has some injury issues. I think we need to figure out what we want to do with the position of the 6, because we can also put Declan Rice there. However, it eliminates Declan Rice higher up the field being more of a threat. And obviously, the one position that I really believe is not going to change, or one player that's not going to change, is Martin Odegaard. I think he's got his position locked down. He's our captain. Every single game he's consistently playing very, very well. Do I think that Mikel Merino can potentially challenge Declan Rice for his position? To be honest, not really. Not at the moment, at least. I think Mikel Arteta has a decision to make whether we want to put Merino as a 6 just to get him on the field with Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, even though that's not his natural position, or does he just keep him on the bench, lets him play in cup games, lets him play anytime Odegaard and Declan Rice have any knocks or injuries? You already have somebody who can step in and do the job that Mikel Arteta wants. What does he do so well? Why is it a good signing for Arsenal? Well, defensively, he's really good at tackling. Really good in the counter press. And I think that's going to be crucial for Arsenal, because we have a lot of possession during matches. We're going to be higher up the pitch, that as soon as we lose it, Mikel Merino not just going to run at players to try and win the ball back, but he's going to put in some really good tackles, and the timing of his tackles has been fantastic at Real Sociedad and in Spain. So I think defensively, he does that job really well, higher up the pitch. In the attack, in possession, he's very good at switching the play, loves a good diagonal long ball, and I think the higher up we get, the more we have to swing the ball quickly side to side just to unbalance the opponents. I think Mikel Merino is going to be a really good player in that middle to be able to give the ball to and switch the play quickly, so we can kind of stretch the opponents out quite a bit. He's tricky and knows how to get out of tight situations. I don't think he's technically as good as Martin Odegaard in those higher spaces, which is why I don't think he's going to play as a 10. But I do think it also gives us the option in a lot of games to play with a true 6, 8, and 10, as opposed to where we're at now, where we haven't really figured out who's going to be our permanent number 6 and where does Declan Rice fit into all of that. And obviously with Declan Rice's price tag, I don't think he's going to be benched anytime soon. But it is a really good signing. I think Mikel Merino is technically good enough. Passing accuracy, passing ability over distance, defensive capabilities of the counter press and the slide tackling, I think makes him a pretty well-rounded player for Mikel Arteta. So let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? If you guys have watched the Sociedad and the Spanish national team, am I pretty accurate in my description of Mikel Merino? Is he a good fit for this Arsenal squad that's going to help push us to be the Premier League champions and go pretty far in the Champions League? And is 32, 37 with the add-ons a really good price to pay? Because in today's transfer market, I mean, the values are so insane that I think $37 million for a player coming off the bench is a great amount to pay. It's a really good bargain because it does give us someone that can step in right away in case somebody gets hurt. Let me know if you guys think he's also a starter. Do you think Mikel Arteta is going to bring him in as a starter? And if so, who's going to be benched in order for Mikel Merino to come in and start? So, great signing. As an Arsenal fan, I'm very happy. I think he's one of the right players to fit into our system. Let me know what you guys think.